Okay, so in Knockout City, self-passing is one of the most vital tools to take your mechanics to the next level and get better at the game. We already know how to curve pass from our tutorial. If you don't know it, that's fine. We're going to go over everything and even more detail just so you understand exactly how to do the LOB self-pass. Okay, so first things first is just stick your camera directly down, so you're looking as far down as you can at the floor. Stick your sprint on toggle, so you can just run, and this means that you don't have to press in your stick. It's going to be easier on your thumb and easier to perform what we need to do. Because you see, we can run, we can jump, and we're still running. You see the lines around the edges, it shows we're still running, we can flip, we can do everything we want, and we're still running. Everything's fine. However, if I run and then I throw a ball, you see we no longer run. After we throw this ball, I have to reactivate run. Okay, and this is what we're going to do. Okay, so now we're going to combine it with the throw. When we're throwing, we're actually not jumping. With the curve pass, we jumped and then we threw. In this one, we're literally tapping Y and RT at pretty much the same time. Tap your Y and then tap your RT a bit later. So once you've thrown, you're going to want to catch up with the ball. You see, as we talked about, if I throw, I'm tapping the left stick in again so I can sprint again. Because you see, if we throw it and we don't tap it, we're almost catching it. However, if we tap it and we sprint again, we're now starting to kick it, and this is what we want. You want to start kicking this ball. You also want to try and line up with the ball. So on our sprint to be kind of straight, and we want to kick that ball and then land it. Now you got this down, we're going to have to do a 180. Very simple. We throw, and we do the 180 with the right stick very simply. You see, if we do this, we're not going to be able to catch up with the ball, because as we do our 180, we're going to start sprinting around in circles, and we're not going to go back. So this is where the hardest part of the self-pass come in, and it's going to be the one that's going to take the most practice. Very simply put, say I want to get from here to there and I want to turn around. If I just sprint and I rotate the camera, while my joystick is fully held forward, I'm just not going to go anywhere, or I'm just going to go straight forward. So this means that as we rotate, we're going to need to start walking sideways and then backwards in synchronization with our camera, so we're trying to keep as straight as a line as possible. And this is the best way to practice it, okay? It doesn't need to be perfect. Just keep on, you can do it slowly if you want, trying to go sideways and then backwards, trying to keep in as straight as a line as possible so that you can turn around. Because this is what's happening. We want to keep on going backwards as we're turning the camera. So this is very quick, and it's something that once you get it down, you're going to get it down. Don't think about it too much. This is just the main thing that people struggle with, and it's the reason why people can't understand it. It's because they're not doing this correctly. They are literally just doing a 180 and wondering why they can't catch it. So, once you've done this, we're just going to have to practice. A lot of the times you might end up to the left of it, or the right of it, or you might end up in front of it. Okay, this is completely fine. Just keep on practicing. Maybe just load up Knockout City for 10, 20 minutes. Maybe load up, maybe my stream on the second monitor, maybe one of my YouTube videos, I don't care. Put it on your phone if you don't have a second monitor, and just go around practicing this. And once you get it once, you're going to get it a lot more times. You're not going to get it every single time, like that. I was doing that for example purposes. You are going to mess up. And don't be put off like that. It took me a lot of time, but during matchmaking, if you complain about it, well, now you have something to do during matchmaking. Now, I do want to add a few more points onto the end of this. So first of all, when to use the self-pass. Self-passes are best used when you're on your own, whether this is league play and you're in a 1v3, or it's like Royal Rumble where you're on your own. If you want to just sit here with a charged ball, be my guest. No one's going to hate you for it. In a team-based game, you shouldn't really be self-passing that often. You should hopefully be trying to get with your team. Say I'm over here, my dummy's in a fight. I don't want to self-pass here and then try and throw from back here, because if I throw from back here, they're going to catch it. I then also want to get closer, because in this thing, I'm going to be here. While I'm catching this ball, I can't react that quickly if they just throw the ball. So, very simply, you're just going to come over, you're going to pass that ball. And now, we can do whatever we want. We can travel, we can do so much cool stuff. So self-pass is only really helpful in the 1vx situations, as I said in my 1v3 video. But you can use it in team KO, maybe you're alone and maybe you want to get a quick hit. Just self-pass, throw it back, it might work. Don't just rule it out, but don't go looking out for it. The question is which self-pass. Hopefully, by now you know how to do the LOB self-pass, and most of you might know how to do the curve self-pass if you watch my other video. But which one do you want to use? Well, first of all, use the one you're most consistent with. If you're more consistent with LOB, use that. The downsides of the curve is that it can go either left, or it can go right. So you need to react to your camera. With a LOB, you're literally just turning 180. It doesn't matter which way round you go. Now if you watch really high tier players, they can do their self pass like that, and they almost catch it sideways to pull back to the front. Now if you can't do this, then a curve pass might be better in some situations if you want to throw it directly ahead. Because if you quickly need a burst of speed to throw it ahead, then it might work. But commonly, I recommend using the lob self pass in general when you have some time and some space. And then I recommend using the curve for fancier ones or off of some sort of ledge. You can practice just throwing it directly down and catching it from the high ledges. Because not only does it look cool, it can actually be useful in such situations where you don't have enough space to get a self pass. You can just jump off the ledge and catch it when you land. I hope you have enjoyed and I hope you have learned how to self pass. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I've got my socials below as well if you want to DM me on any of them. And I hope to see you again. If there's anything I missed or any tips and tricks you want to leave, maybe if you're new from PS Plus, come and say hello. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you aren't following or you ain't subscribed, please, it means a lot to me if you could subscribe. Remember, you're not going to get it first time, so don't get instantly annoyed. But that's it. Goodbye. I missed. God darn it. Made myself look like an idiot.